Hi, what's going on everybody? In this video, we're talking about the V1 skate technique. And right here is the V1 left skate technique going uphill. And I'll briefly show this is V1 right going uphill. And so we're just gonna talk about some drills and progressions to get into this technique to make it as smooth and efficient as possible. So let's get into it. I should also mention, if you're advanced, I'm going to show some drills a little bit later that are going to be really good for the advanced guys. I do them all the time, and the best guys in the world do them all the time, especially pre-season. So feel free to skip ahead in the video to some drills that will apply to you. I'm going to briefly cover some beginner steps to work up and make all these drills feel as comfortable as possible. So here we have our first drill. This is just going to be skating with our poles behind our waist, behind our hips. The purpose of this drill is to feel the balance on the feet, the weight transfer from each leg, left to right, right to left. And the reason why I'm holding my poles behind my hips in this specific drill is to watch out for the pole tips swinging far in front of the hip line. So that would show if I'm twisting or not. So the poles are behind the hips, and my hips are staying square, my shoulders are staying square to the track, going down the track in the direction I want to go. The pole tips can circle a little, they can go up and down a little bit. It's just going to really help with showing if there's any twisting action going on. If that's a little bit challenging, we're going to break that down a little bit into a couple simpler steps and rebuild to there. So let's see what those drills look like. So here we go with breaking that skate down a little further. Is if you have a track, great. If you don't have a track, you can step right out of it. Keep one foot straight, and the other foot is just gonna skate you forward down the track. So just give you a little bit of that feel of having to skate at least off of one leg and get your direction going forward. That drill is not easy. It looks, it can be a little awkward. But so once you do that on both legs, going on keeping just your right leg straight, skating off your left foot, and then keeping your left foot straight, skating off your right foot, you can then just step out of that track and then just give yourself some feelings of skating off both feet without your poles behind your back or anything. You can just have your poles in your hands, or you can take your poles off. You can have your arms can help you with balance, and you can swing your arms. If you're twisting, that's fine. Just give yourself the feeling of being in balance as possible, skating down the track, and then we'll worry about the arms and hips later. Give yourself a little bit of time working on that. Once that feels more comfortable, then feel free to grab your poles again, put them behind your back like this, and we'll get back into this drill and break this down a little bit more. This is, again, just a great drill to feel the knee bend, the balance on the foot, and the weight transfer, the hips getting that side to side weight transfer motion as you're powering yourself down the track, and the hips are staying square to the track and the shoulders are staying square to the track. So you can see the pole tips going up and down. They've got a little bit of a circle. There's a little bit of a twist there. But as we get up to speed, it becomes more smooth. And then the weight transfer just becomes a lot more side to side and going in the direction you want to go. And once you feel comfortable with that, then you can again remove the poles behind your back, use your arms a little bit, feel how your arms can swing and move and help you for balance a little bit while not compromising with twisting too much. You're not letting your hips twist, you're just feeling the arms can move and be loose and be free. And we'll get into the next foundation of the skate skiing technique, which is the double pole. So here we go. So planting right by the toe, little upper body action here. Arms roughly 90 degrees at the elbow. This is rough. Everything I'm saying here is you don't want any hard set rules. We don't want to look like stiff robots. We want to be fluid and efficient. So arms roughly 90 degrees, getting a decent crunch as we're going down the track. And that's how, and we'll just get a feel. The legs are staying, the skis are going straight. Little knee bend, a little upper body action, crunching there. Just give yourself that feel of your arms working, getting a powerful pole planting by the toe, pushing yourself down the track, propelling yourself down the track with just your arms. Next, we're getting into a double pull, then a skate. Double pull, then a skate. This is just showing yourself a little bit of that timing, beginning to combine a double pull and a skate, which is part of the foundation of skate skiing. This right here is the marathon skate. You do end up using this technique quite a lot in skate skiing. As you can see, the weight stays over the right leg, and I'm skating off the left leg and planting my poles at the same time as the left leg is skating. And so this technique is called the marathon skate, and it's a great technique to know. You end up using it quite often. It's a great technique, and it also helps bridge that gap a little bit between skating, double pulling, and the timing of that V1 skate. So take some time doing the marathon skate on both legs. And again, if you don't have a track, no problem. You can just keep your legs straight just on the flat groom part and go from there. Yeah, once that feels somewhat comfortable, we'll go on to the next drill. This is just some more no pull skiing, feeling a little bit of the glide, exaggerating some glide there. Just to give yourself a little feel, you might have to hop up and down a little bit, no problem. It just really helps you be in control of your timing. Just helps you gain control and balance on your skis. So here we have a couple double pulls. So this next drill, we're just double pulling, getting speed, then skating, keeping speed. Double pulling, keeping speed, and skating, keeping speed. Just getting ready to combine both double pull and skate skiing. And I'm messing up with my head right there, those first couple strides. I'm really looking down. You should really have your head more forward. So not a great example there, my bad. And here we go into a V1 right. Let's see, the timing of this is quite important. So I'm just skating, and here's a V1 left. So I just take a few skates. I'm just pausing with my hands until I'm ready to do the proper timing. And this is into the V1 left technique. So let's check that out again. So my hands are just waiting for the right time, and I'm now going to enter the V1 left technique when I'm ready, right in time with that left ski. Right as I'm skating with that left ski is when my poles are planting. Poles are planting right by the toe, that lead toe on the left foot. So of course, like I mentioned with the double pull drill, so I'm just planting right as the left leg is skating, and then getting an even skate off that right leg as well, getting the good weight transfer that we set up from our skate drills, and using the arms to add to the power down the track. Hips are staying square to the track, shoulders are staying square to the track, roughly, and that's the technique. And this is a different entrance into the V1 technique. This is just a little bit of a double pull to marathon skate to V1. Some people do better entering this way. Some people do better with the skating and then adding the arms in. So find out which one you are and enter it the way that you prefer. I find this one a little bit more challenging, but some people do better with it. So now we're just going into this marathon skate that we practiced, where the weight is staying over the right leg, and then stepping into the V1, where step off that right leg into the V1. Now we're getting that even weight transfer back and forth. Left, right, left, right. You can see that timing and that pole placement and just getting down the track. And you pick up speed quite fast on flat ground once you get a hang of the glide and all that, as long as the snow conditions are good, I should add. And that's the gist of a decent progression into building into the V1 technique. So give yourself plenty of time of feeling more comfortable, starting to feel fluid. And I'm already gaining so much speed, I'm getting into a little bit of a V2 there. So We'll cut away here, and we'll now take this off the flat and into some hills. So here's a hill. The high side is to the left, low side to the right. So I'm using the V1 left technique to that high side to get myself up that angled hill. And the V1 technique is much more often used for climbing hills such as this. And so some great drills to transition from the flat to hills. Again, why are we doing this drill again up a hill? That's because you're going to notice right away you're going to need a little more shin angle, as in a little bit more knee bend, to feel in balance with your hips in the right place, getting that good weight transfer side to side, but not twisting the hips too dramatically here. So this drill is a great drill to feel the balance and the little bit of the body angle change that you need to climb the hill. Next, one of my favorite drills that I do all the time, that I need to do more of currently, as in tomorrow, is this no poles drill. And to mimic it, make it look as much as like, to basically mime like I have poles as much as possible. Getting a decent crunch, or yeah, making it look like the arms are doing some work and helping me up the hill. Getting the arm swing and the timing, but what's great about this drill is you're not able to cheat with the feet. And you have to stay in balance with the right foot placement, the right knee bend, and the right hip placement, so that way you get the proper weight transfer to get yourself up the hill. You don't have the poles to help reach or lean over on. So you have to stay in the right body position to get yourself up this hill, which is why it's one of my favorite drills. So when you do add arms, it just adds to the power and the balance, as opposed to making you lean or reach and getting you out of position. So again, this no poles with the poles behind the back, and then no poles where we're adding in the proper arm motion, setting up the foundation and the body position needed as you transition from flat to hills. This is a V1 left. So if I had poles, they would be planting now, right on that left foot. And this drill is great to show the weight transfer needed. When you don't have poles, you need to skate properly to get yourself up the hill. So it's always a great drill to fall back on and check in with, to make sure you're having the right balance with your feet, knees, and hips, and not leaning over too much with the upper body, of course. And here I'd say my left arm is a little bit low there, but still decent example. That is a V1 right as I'm climbing this hill. And for those who are more advanced, feel free to be doing some fun stuff like this, practicing your bounding V1. Nice and smooth, nice and efficient. So that is how the V1 looks, and as you practice and get better and better, you get to then start practicing your bounding V1 and your sprinting V1 and all this fun stuff, and it gets to lead to great fitness and great speed, and it's a really fun technique. You get to start to move with freedom across all the trails and glide and look like all your favorite skiers. Like I love watching Johannes Klæbo, and I need a lot of work obviously here to look like him. But I'm going to keep working on it, and that's what I'm here for. I will also be covering downhills, cornering, tucking in future videos on this channel. So if there's anything, and I'd also love to be going into way more detail on all of these drills and progressions and techniques. So if you liked what you saw here, consider subscribing. I'm going to be posting a lot more, how to navigate the cross-country trails smooth and efficient. I'm working on all this myself. My goal is to get good at this, so I hope you'll join me. And as always, I should mention that I really encourage you to check out some other tutorials on YouTube. There's a lot of great channels putting out good content on how to ski, and my favorite is to watch World Cup races or watch World Cup level skiers, watch the best skiers in the world, somebody that you like. Watch how they ski, how they V1, how they V2, how they transition. And that's one of the best ways to get a good example of good skiing. And there's a lot of good resources for that just right here on YouTube. So I always encourage listening and learning from other people. And if I'm able to help out, that's awesome. And yeah, so let's get better together. And it really will help me a lot if you can put any questions or comments down below of anything I was not clear about, anything that needs much more detail. I'm sure everything I said could be way better. So don't hesitate to comment anything. I appreciate the feedback, and let's make this a good channel for the fastest progress we can make with cross-country skiing. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch. I hope this is helpful, and I hope some of my future videos can be helpful. We have a lot more to cover, so thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. See you in the next one. All right, bye.